And it is capable of handling some severely rough waters. And I take that as a highlight because this boat is built by two oceans down in South Africa. And I've seen some video of this boat in 10 to 15 foot seas. I mean, so bad that the chase boat, it would disappear from the chase boat. So you see the boat come into frame, out of frame, into frame, out of frame. That's wild. It was really wild. And he said it was really, really stable during that experience. The other thing that was neat is they're going to be expanding under this brand.
Welcome to another episode of the Southern Boating Podcast. I'm Ian Sneed.
I'm James Anderson.
And today we're doing a FLIBS review. So we'll be reviewing the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show for you.
And if there's anything that we don't cover in this episode that you would like us to talk about, please leave it in the comments below so we can make sure that we suffice what you would like to hear from us.
In the meantime, click on the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification icon so that you can get notified anytime a new video comes out. With that, let's jump into the review.
Absolutely. So, number one, why don't you get us started on one thing that we did new this year?
We had this idea, and mind you, this was a wild experience on the creation side of it because it was custom built. But we had a photo booth custom built so that you could come in to the photo booth, take a photo on an iPad, and it would be you on the cover of the Southern Boating magazine. Then we would email it to you, because that's the whole point, is for you to get it in high quality.
Absolutely. I had a lot of fun with it. You probably will see upcoming a lot of our staff taking photos. I probably took like 24 photos.
You took a lot. Yeah, there were a couple where I'm like, oh, James again. Oh, James again. Oh, James again.
I was having fun at times, So
but it was fun. Great. To everyone that came through and used the photo booth, we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
We literally did it for you to have fun. That was the goal, and you made that fun for us.
I think there was one photo that I really enjoyed taking. And that was with Sandy, the artist.
Oh, yeah.
That does Seabold prints or Seabold art. She has a artist rendition of the October cover. And she came by to show it to us. And I took the opportunity to get a photo in the photo booth with her. You'll be able to check her out in an upcoming issue. And she is an unbelievable artist that can do a personal drawing of your boat.
Oh, yeah. It's great. So right after that, she came out to talk to us. The photos, incredible.
Absolutely great artist. I was very thrilled to see her artwork and can't wait to highlight it in some stuff down the road.
Exactly.
I'm going to get us going with some of the stuff that I thought was exceptional at the boat show and stuff that I had a lot of anticipation of seeing. And the first one was the new Eclipse 505 Shadow. I have personally been waiting to see this boat for 2 years now. From the moment that they announced that they were building this boat till this day, or until that day that I got to see it, I was hugely anticipating it. Unbelievably striking boat. When you had the opportunity to actually film this boat, get a walkthrough on it with the brand ambassador, Dave, and I know that you liked it a whole lot too.
I loved it, man.
It was really neat.
It was so innovative. I'm excited for that walkthrough. We got a whole walkthrough video coming for you on the Eclipse 505 Shadow, whole walkthrough video.
Yeah. And just to give a quick synopsis of it, it is roughly a 50-foot boat, 2 stateroom, 2 head. It has the single level deck all the way from the cockpit to the saloon through the helm. And that makes it really nice to be able to enjoy the entirety of the boat. It also had triple V12 600s, and it is capable of handling some severely rough waters. And I take that as a highlight because this boat is built by two oceans down in South Africa. And I've seen some video of this boat in 10 to 15 foot seas. I mean, so bad that the chase boat, it would disappear from the chase boat. So you see the boat come into frame, out of frame, into frame, out of frame. That's wild. It was really wild. And he said it was really, really stable during that experience. The other thing that was neat is they're going to be expanding under this brand. So we're expecting some upcoming shows to see the 605. And now they announced 2 more models that are going to come along with this brand is the 395 and the 455. So we're going to see this brand expand, and I couldn't be happier for them to make that announcement because it's truly a stunning boat.
Yes, stunning. It really was.
It was, and that's the easiest way. So if you're interested in seeing it, stay tuned because we got a special video on that coming up.
And that's why you subscribe to the channel. Now, I'm going to jump into the next boat that I loved was Monterey. Monterey brought the Elite 30. And when we got there, right off the bat, because this was in the convention center, right off the bat, the lines of this vessel just got me to stop. And as I boarded, I realized this is a vessel for people that like water activities. It's made for people that like water activities. Every bit about it made me think this boat belongs in the water. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously every boat belongs in the water. That's what it's built for. But there was something about this boat that was calling you to take it on the water. Does that make sense?
It does. And what's really neat about this is an all new design for them. Really kind of stepping away from their standard classic design that we've seen over the years and into something new. And it is, you can definitely tell that it's something new for them because it stands out against the rest of their boats.
And this is another vessel that I'm going to have more of a walkthrough video for all of you. So I'm not going to go into too much detail right now because I want you to watch that video. It's a stunning vessel. Like, I'm looking at...
Well, when you first came up, that's the first thing you said. It's like, I really like this boat.
I want this boat.
Like, you came right over to me, and that was the first words out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Nothing anywhere like, I got it, I'm good, we're ready.
You were in a conversation with someone, and so I had to mouth that, like, I like this boat. Like,
yes, you did. That's right.
I like this boat.
I was in a conversation with one of their executives, and you did mouth it to me.
Yeah. Really, really impressed with them. So, again, with this vessel, you're going to keep your eyes peeled for a walkthrough video that's coming soon.
Yeah.
And then I'll throw it back to you. One
of the other ones that I really enjoyed spending some time on, and you got to spend time with me on this one, is the Riviera 6800 Sport Yacht Platinum Edition. A little bit of a mouthful, but it was stunning.
It really was.
It was, like all Rivieras, a beautiful boat. Designed for rough seas, definitely for the adventurous individual. You could tell that on this boat because of some of the features that were there as we did the walkthrough. But as always with Riviera, you know, I've mentioned it numerous different times that their quality is impressive, and mainly because of the apprentice program that they have. Passing along those skills is so important. I love that program that they run. But this boat, to me, what was so interesting to me is number one, the owner's estate room was huge. And then you go into the head in the owner's suite, and it was, by all means, for a boat this size, massive.
Yeah.
I mean, it was as big as my master bath in my home. And I thought for a yacht this size at, I believe, 72 feet, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like the first thing, because I'm not a small guy, to see that was really, really nice. The other thing that I liked was what they called either a crew quarters or could really be used as a utility room, and had a pass through from the owner's suite into what would be a crew quarters or utility room and back through the engine room and out the aft side of the ship. And I really like that because a lot of people that own Rivieras are owner operators. And, you know, if you're the adventurous person, you don't have to walk through the entirety of the boat to get down into your owner suite. You can come through basically the garage and not have to track in any sand, seaweed, whatever it may be that you've gotten yourself into, or just track that amount of water if you're coming out of the water. And it's very creative. One of the stories that we heard is that somebody was going to make it more of a utility room for their dive equipment. And I thought that was very creative. So I really got to say, I liked it. I thought it was great. Another great job by Riviera. We expect nothing but great jobs from them. And it was absolutely amazing. What else did you have?
The next boat on my list is W Yachts, the W43. Now, we mentioned this in one of the videos that we released during our special 10-episode series, that we were going to get on this vessel and check it out. And I was left impressed with this. From the moment you get on, it's luxury top to bottom, 100%. There's massive space between the outboards and the transom. The cockpit area there has the magnetic tabletop with not just silverware, but plates and china, I guess.
The dinnerware or plateware or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So your setting stays there. It's magnetized to the table, which was really neat. Very innovative.
I thought that was very innovative. There's a sun pad at the bow. There's bow seating in front of that. The cabin was spacious. Like, I walked down into the cabin and had headroom, and I was like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't realize that it had that much space when I first got down into it. Like, when you're looking in, you're like, oh, okay, I'm probably going to have to crouch a little bit. And I just stood right up because I felt comfortable enough to stand right up. The helm is gorgeous. They made, and then the hull, it was painted, right?
Yes.
It's not a gel coat. It's painted. And it looks like, to me, it looked like a champagne color. It was just stunning.
It's stunning. You could see yourself. The paint was so well done.
It was so well done.
On a light color paint, to be able to see yourself It's an incredible finish.
Really, really is.
I mean, it was impressive seeing it there in the convention center. I was impressed. And again, and we had an opportunity to sit down with them and talk about the heritage of the brand and so forth.
Yep.
And I thought that we heard a story that was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So for me, one of the other boats that I got to go see, and now my friend works there, Mr. Brian Jones, a little shout out to you. My friend Brian Jones is now over at Fairline, and I had an opportunity to actually see the Targa 40. Now, I've always liked the Fairlines. I think they're a unique looking boat. But this one actually kind of really stood out a little bit more to me, actually. Just to start with the Targa, it is a Targa. And I love the word Targa. I mean, Targa Porsches are my favorite Porsches, right? To be able to take the top off. It has a massive sunroof. Massive canvas sunroof that pulls back. Makes this feel like just an open air boat completely. And not only that, ample seating in the cockpit, a lot of seating. It had a fold down terrace on the starboard side, large sunbeds, and a beautiful kind of modern contemporary interior to it and soft goods. It was just really, really, really fresh looking. And I gotta say, I am interested in actually getting Steve out on one of these to go for a test to see how it performs and everything, because I know that this boat is going to perform well, and I just really kind of want to see it a little bit further in detail and spend some time on board, because I think it's a brand that not enough people are paying attention to, and they should, because it is a high quality, excellent looking boat.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that one.
No, I snuck away to go see that.
I know. I remember when he came back, I was like, where were you? Oh, I went to Fairline. I was like, oh, okay.
I went to go see my friend.
Yeah, well, that's fair. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Aquila 50 Power Catamaran.
And you got to get on this boat twice.
I did. I got to
you
get
on it at the press conference, and then we went back to get more footage. So I know you like this boat.
I do like this boat.
And it's a big boat.
It is. It has. So the one thing I'm going to say stood out right off the bat. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's so many elements of comfort, luxury. For me, it feels very much like a social environment type of a vessel. It's meant absolutely like if you wanted to stay on that boat, cruise on that boat, it's meant for that, absolutely. But the full beam master, when I walked into it, I was stunned. I had to turn my entire body to be able to see one wall and then the other. Like, you know, a lot of times people say it's a full beam master, right? And you're like, oh yeah, this is good. And you can turn your head.
Think full beam master on a regular monohull boat.
Exactly.
This is a full beam master on a catamaran.
Yes.
It has a big beam.
It has a walk-in closet in the owner's suite. There was a separate shower. Obviously, there was a head. And then on top of that, there were 2 other guest cabins. Again, with a separate washer and dryer area. Like the whole space was it was a home on the water. It was a luxurious home on the water. I can't even begin to describe it without stopping to admire it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like even remembering it makes me think, oh man, I'd like to be on that again.
And that's why a lot of people that do liveaboards pick catamarans.
Absolutely.
Because of the space. I mean, it's just...
I didn't even get to the flybridge and then the grill up top. And then there's so much to the vessel.
I know. Oh. Yeah. So we'll have to go over that in detail on another episode. Which
absolutely.
I think you got enough.
I have enough footage to talk about that. Yes.
Right. And we can get some voiceover from them too to kind of go over the footage with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So watch out for some of that. Now the last one is a boat that I've been anticipating as well for quite a bit of time. And that's from Cruisers. So Cruisers initially announced this boat about a year ago, maybe a little more. They called it originally the 55 Fly, but as of this morning, we are appropriately naming this boat with an update from them on a press release, the 57 Fly.
That's right.
Because it is truly a 57-foot boat in length. I had a very quick chance to jump on this boat, and then I quickly jumped off because they were actually showing it to some clientele, so I don't want to get in the way. What I did get to see of this boat was absolutely stunning. And I'm not surprised. Cruisers is always a great builder of boats. And what I took away from this one is how modern and sleek the interior was. Absolutely amazing. And not like overly modern where you're like, that's too much, too spaceshipy or something like that. No, it's not. It's modern to the point that it's very inviting, very sleek looking, and it just gives you that sense of kind of calm when you're on board, right? And it was very interesting. And I think a lot of it had to do with not just the modern aspects of it, but also the colors that they were using in that model. I guess probably my favorite color. It had a lot of blue in it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not a surprise. I think if you watch this episode, I'm almost always wearing blue or some variation of blue. Yeah. You look at my closet, blue, 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 blue. It's bad.
I'm the same with gray though.
I feel you. I feel you. But just everything from how sleek the helm was with its glass cockpit look to the staterooms being very spacious, a huge fly bridge for a boat this size, the drop down terrace that's on this boat on the port side, and it just gives it so much more space. And it comes with crew quarters as well, which is kind of abnormal for a boat this size, but very interesting because you can choose to either use that as an extra stateroom for kids, possibly, or if you really do want to have a crew, or if you're going to own or operate this boat and maybe charter it out when you're not using it. I mean, there's so many options that come with this. I think it's a boat that a lot of people should start looking at.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and Cruisers is a great brand.
And you know, a lot of people were looking at it because I was supposed to go get footage of it.
We couldn't get you
and
on
I couldn't
it.
Get on because to get footage.
Got on the boat, walked around real quick. And I mean, not even 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, somebody's getting on the boat. I'm off.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even get the chance to get on the vessel. And it was beautiful. I wanted to get on. You could see it. It was stunning.
Well, you
and
had to walk by it probably 50 times across the week.
At least. So, you know, but I'm happy to see the level of interest that it had because you could tell it was a stunning vessel.
Absolutely. I mean, literally every time I walked past it, there was multiple people on board looking at it.
Exactly.
And I'm like I said before, I'm of the aspect that, listen, I'm not there buying the boat. I'm there showcasing a boat, you know, to try and offer it up for you guys to see what we think of it, you know, get some footage of it so you guys can take a more in-depth look at it. But I couldn't even get you on board, so we couldn't even get that opportunity.
But that's all right.
So that's it for us right now. No, you got one more?
Yeah, so the Pardo. The Pardo GT75 has to be one of my favorite boats that I got to see.
Stunning.
Stunning. The second I walked on, it felt, you could feel the Italian luxury. It was like hugging you. I don't know how else to describe it. The second you walk in, so they have a sliding door. Well, actually, no, that one. Yeah, they have a sliding door on that one.
The sliding door had a slight canter to it forward, right?
And so, you know, they had a sliding door. You come in and right away, there's a seating area there. They had a drop-down television so you can separate that space from the helm, or you can open it up so that the captain could engage.
And the helm was
centered, so you could walk around the helm. It was stunning.
It was very stunning. That was another boat that kind of gave you that sense of calm. And what I thought was really interesting is they played that video for us. That was Kevin Costner. Experiencing the boat, you know, and he was out on it as a charter for a weekend. And his thing was all about the calmness that boat brought him. And you can tell. I mean, that was a stunning boat.
You could feel, yes. Like, when we're talking about Italian luxury, this boat is the epitome of it. The epitome of it. It was great.
If I had a spare $5 million, I'd have one.
Yeah.
Or 5.9 million.
Yeah. And I think you have one more vessel to talk about.
I do have one more vessel to talk about. And it's one that I thought I was going to get a chance to see last year, and we didn't. But it was here at FLIBS. And that's the Maritimo M75. I'm always a fan of Maritimos. They build an unbelievable boat. I love the brand. But we got our first look at the M75. You actually got on board and got some footage, and we'll release that when we get a chance. But just like everything, gorgeous boat, great use of interior space. One of the things that I really love that they changed with this boat over some of the models is the amount of what they called an adventure deck and swim platform.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that because to me, if I'm out boating, I'm out there to experience being outdoors, and I want to experience the water, and I want a personalized experience with it, which means I want to get in the water. I want to get as close to the water as I can at all times. And this boat offers that in that size range, which is unbelievable, and just a lot of different opportunities in that boat. The other thing is this is a long range cruiser, actually. So in its cruise, you know, and I forgot the speeds, but it'll offer you some significant range. So you can go well offshore, you can go explore. And that's what, to me, with the Australian builders, all of them, Riviera, Maritimo, Grand Banks, Palm Beach, all of them always, to me, stand for exploration, adventures, right? And that's the way I view the Australians. And Maritimo hit it on the mark.
Absolutely.
With that boat. That adventure deck is so important because I'm not trying to be inside. I want to be out enjoying the fresh air, enjoying the water, worshiping the sun, even though I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll burn, but there's somewhat of enough sunblock for me as long as it's 100 SPF.
Yeah, and you can't step on a Maritimo without stepping off impressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
great way to put it.
There's
you just really can't. And I've always felt that way about their boats. Every time I step off of one, I always, wow, what an experience.
And that was my experience too. Like filming it, I'm like, man, how did I get so lucky to get that? This is what I get to do.
Right? This is what you get to do for a living. Yeah, we all have that sentiment a lot of times.
Yep.
So it's great. So those are just a smidgen of the takeaways that we got to experience at Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. So if there's something that you would like us to cover, make sure to put it in the comments like I mentioned before. Very important because I want to make sure that you guys, if you value our input, that you're getting exactly what you want.
And with that, before we sign off, I have to say thank you to everyone that gave us feedback at the boat show about the podcast and watching and we appreciate you so much. Really, like your words of encouragement, support, the feedback, the positive feedback that we're getting. Thank you very much for sharing with that. Feel free to share that in the comments just so that we can get more engagement. But also email us and let us know whenever you see us. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Heartfelt thank you.
It's a lot of fun doing this show for you guys.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Absolutely. So until next time, I'm James Anderson.
I'm Ian Sneed.
Come back and check us out soon. Photobooth. All right, I got it out of my system.
That sounded like Barney.
They sound like Barney to you?
No, that like the Barney song.
I love you.
Exactly, but it was
you
Photobooth.
love me.
Exactly.
We're a happy. I don't let my kid watch Barney.
No, I watched Barney. I came out okay.
You sure about that?
I shouldn't have said that. Now that I think about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of questioning.
You just walked right into that.
I'm sus to a lot of people. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm looking at Snoopy. You don't look at Snoopy. I look at Snoopy.
You don't know that I'm looking at Snoopy.
You were looking at Snoopy. I can see your eyes.
You don't know?
You're such a liar.
Is it Shadow 505 or 505 Shadow?
505 Shadow.
505 Shadow.
And just to give a quick synopsis of it.
Boat that I loved was Monterey. They brought an incredible boat. And I realized I didn't write down the model.
It's the 38.
The what?
30 Elite.
The 30 Elite. Thank you.
Or the Elite 30. You want me to look this up here?
Let's look it up because my bad. This will be in the bloopers.
You wanna bet me on how right I am?
No, I don't want to bet you because that's why I was like, look, all the other ones: Yachts W43, Aquila 50 PC, Pardo GT75. Like I have them all down, and then Monterey. It's just Monterey. I'm like, what am I thinking? Even next week's episode, I have it right there.